take the bull by the horns. And then when you take the bull by the horns, know what to do with it once you do it. And I think that's the problem, is people are ready to grab the bull, but once they get the bull's right there, and they look and they go, oh, I'm in trouble. I got the bull right now. And that's when you're in trouble, if you don't know what to do with it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Coffee with the Coach. I am here today to get you guys prepared to take control of your life once and for all. That is my goal today. It's not easy to take control of your life. It's not easy to start doing all the things that you want to do, but don't you think they're worth it? You've got all these dreams and goals. You want to accomplish the big fitness goal. You want to lose the 20 or 30 pounds. You want to bench press 300 pounds. You want to get the girlfriend of your dreams or boyfriend of your dreams. Those are all important goals. Maybe you have some financial goals that you want to hit. Maybe you have some faith goals that you want to hit. Those are all super important. And in my line of work, it sounds cheesy, but this is my business. Your goals are my goals. So when I help people accomplish their goals at my business top line by training them and helping them with their diet, nutrition, all these different things, when I help them accomplish their goals, I succeed. Our team succeeds and our business grows. So I'm not talking to you guys like just because I think it's fun and it's cool to talk about how I can help you and it makes me look good. That's literally what I do. That's what I've done now for the last 10 years, now going on 11. So that's what I want to help you guys out with today. I want to help you guys get on the right track. Take the bull by the horns. And then when you take the bull by the horns, know what to do with it once you do it. And I think that's the problem, is people are ready to grab the bull, but once they get the bull's right there, and they look and they go, oh, I'm in trouble. I got the bull right now. And that's when you're in trouble, if you don't know what to do with it. So that's the topic of today's show, is how to take control of your life and your lifestyle. But we're going to use how to control your life for clickbait because it sounds a little bit better. But this is going to be simple. I'm only going to go over 3 things with you guys, so you don't have to take a ton of notes. This show is not going to go incredibly long, but it's going to be super impactful and it's going to really help you guys out. So stick with me for about 10 to 12 minutes and we'll be on our way. First, I'm Brett Summers, if you guys don't know me. I'm a strength and conditioning coach from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I work with athletes. I work with regular general population people who are just trying to get in shape, from hairstylists to house vrouws to attorney generals to anything you could name. I work with everybody from Navy SEALs to bull riders to skateboarders. It doesn't matter. I've worked with them. So if you're none of those things, whatever you are, I'm sure I can help you guys out. And again, I've been in business now for 10 years, going on 11. So hopefully I've learned a few things over those millions of days that I've been around in this game, and I can help you guys out today. But the first thing, this is important, like super important. I've talked about it on other shows. I'll keep talking about it because it never goes away. The first thing to take control of your life is you have to accept 100% responsibility for where your life is now and where you want your life to go. So what do I mean by accepting personal responsibility? Well, you know that person who did something to you 10, 15, 20 years ago. They cheated on you. They forgot about you. They picked on you. They made fun of you. They didn't teach you something. They didn't lead you the way you thought you should be led. They didn't financially support you. They didn't, give you a hug and a kiss when you said that you wanted to be a musician and say, let's get you to the level you want to be. Whatever it is that person did to you 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, it's time to stop blaming them. Even if it was somebody who did something to you a week ago, it's time to release the anger. It's time to release the bitterness. It's time to release all the cynicism that you have regarding that person, or people in general. Because when you're holding on to that negativity and you're all worked up about what somebody else did to you, and when someone cut you off in traffic, and when someone didn't do something at work, you know what's even easier than that? Is to just take responsibility for it yourself. Even if someone hits you with your car, you should say, maybe I should have gotten up earlier, and maybe I shouldn't have been in traffic at this time. If I got up an hour earlier, I would have missed traffic. Maybe someone spills coffee on you, and you say to yourself, you know what? Instead of them handing me a hot coffee, maybe I should have been drinking some iced coffee like dear old Brett does on Coffee with the Coach. Whatever the case may be, it's time for you guys to take responsibility for where you are. Maybe your finances aren't right. Maybe you don't have your money right. Maybe you don't look at your numbers. I had a gentleman who I work with. Okay, I'm his coach. I'm talking to him about his finances like a week or two ago. I said, do you know your numbers? He goes, what do you mean do I know my numbers? I said, I don't know, your numbers. You know how much you make, what your expenses are, how much you have saved up, how much is in your 401k and your IRA and your Keogh. Do you know how much is in it? And he goes, no, I don't know. And I said, well, you don't know your numbers. So the next day he came back, saw him again. I said, and I told him the day before, go look at your numbers. I asked him the next day, I said, do you know your numbers? And he goes, man, I'm going to do it, but I didn't do it yet. Well, he needs to take responsibility for his finances because his goal is to get them into a better position. So you have to take that. No one else, and I think that's the biggest lesson here is no one else is going to come do it for you. No one else is going to market your business for you. No one else is going to show you how to close sales for you. No one else is going to go to the gym and do the exercise for you and eat healthy for you and drink the water for you. No one's going to do it. It's your job to take responsibility for those things. Put a game plan in place so you can get to where you want to go. And I really think it's important. This show usually goes on Fridays, but it doesn't matter when you're listening to it. But as you go into the weekend, maybe it's time to just take a step back, ask yourself some really good questions, and get yourself to where you want to be. So number 2 on the list is this. It goes hand in hand with accepting personal responsibility. Self-discipline. At a certain point in your life, you're going to have to discipline yourself to wake up at a certain time, to commit to going to appointments at a certain time, to schedule time every week to look at your finances, to maybe schedule an hour-long meeting with your significant other every week, whether it's your wife or your girlfriend, and say, hey, where are we going? What are we doing together? Are we going in the right direction? Are we hitting our targets? Do you need help with something? Do I need help with something? I'm not getting this done in my, maybe you expect some more out of your significant other in certain areas. Well, if you meet with them and tell them that, that's accepting responsibility and being self-disciplined enough to know I need to schedule the tough conversations. Now, the only reason I can sit here and talk to you guys about that is because I have struggled and even still struggle with some of those personal self-discipline things. Now, there are all sorts of other areas I'm super disciplined. When it comes to getting my workouts in, I'm always getting my workouts in. When it comes to making sure that I'm hydrated or that I'm eating right, I'm always doing that. Do I get my sleep? I'm always doing that. But do I always set the exact schedule with the staff ahead of time so that everyone knows 10 days, 20 days before that on this day at this time they're meeting with Brett? No, I don't. Brett's smiling right now, chuckling. Because old grandfather Brett sometimes has a hard time setting and sticking to his schedule because I like to freewheel a little bit. I'm a bit of a maverick. I like to go do my own thing sometimes and have other people bend to my will. But unfortunately, when you're trying to be a better leader, you have to set and stick to a schedule. And it's hard for me. It's one of those things. So until I can hire 100 people, I've got to suck it up right now, and I've got to be self-disciplined enough to do that. So I'm not talking down to you. I'm with you guys. I struggle in certain areas. I excel in certain areas like I'm sure you do. Maybe you're really good with you like to be regimented. And then this weekend at this time, me and the wife are going to the market, and at 9 o'clock, we're going to be going to the family dinner. I could never live like that, but maybe you struggle in your fitness, which is easy for me. So we all have those things that we're working on, and I just wanted you guys to know that I'm with you. I'm not talking down to you. I'm with you. We're going arm in arm. But what I'm working on is trying to become strong as a whole and trying to advance my game in those areas. So the self-discipline is important. Now, number 3, I kind of touched on this and alluded to this on number 1. It kind of goes hand in hand. But here's the thing. You've got to ask yourself great questions. So as you're approaching the weekend, here it's Friday, you've got the weekend coming up, or even if it's a Monday or Tuesday, how about you do this? This is what I do. I do this a lot. almost every other day I almost do this. I just ask myself some really good, high quality questions, which is something I got from Tony Robbins, listening to his audios, and 45 minutes to fulfillment and 15 minutes to whatever he was coming up with, which is always pretty deep. But he came up with this thing. You ask yourself good questions. You don't say, what sucks right now? Oh, I can't believe this. Why did this happen to me? Or why won't I ever accomplish this? Those are terrible questions to ask yourself. And when you ask yourself bad questions, you get bad answers. And if you want to ask yourself a good question, here's a few that I ask myself. Where do I want to go? That's a good question. That maybe means you're not where you want to be, but where do I want to go? Where do I want my team to go? How many more people do I want to hire? Where do I want my body to be in another 6 months? Where do I want my finances to be in another 24 months? Where do I want to go? It's a great question because it means that you can go where you want to go. So it's a great question to just write down a piece of paper, write a cue, and write, where do I want to go? The next question I'd jot right underneath that is this. How do I want my days to go? How do I want my days to look? What time do I want to wake up? And I'm not telling you to wake up when you want to wake. I'm telling you, how do my days have to look if I want to feel great, but I also want to succeed in my business? I want to succeed in my relationship. I want to succeed in my faith. I want to schedule some time. You know, we all have these 4 wheels in life. This would be your 60-seconder, Brett. We all have these 4 wheels in life. You have your faith, you have your fitness, you have your family, and you have your finances. And in family, you could also include all of your other relationships. And what happens if those 4 are the wheels to a car, and your car is chugging along and everything's going, you're working on all 4 of them. As soon as one wheel goes out, all of a sudden your finances go up, boom, the health takes a hit, the relationships take a hit, the faith takes a hit. If your faith is out of whack, boom, and your character is out of whack, whatever your faith might be, boom, all of a sudden, then your body starts, you're stressed and your stomach hurts and you got this pain in your pit of your stomach because you're not being the man or woman you should be. So those 4 wheels are the most important things. So it's important to ask yourself questions that are going to help you improve all of those. Remember that. Now, another question that you guys might want to ask yourself is, what do I want to wear? Now, this one seems kind of silly, right? But for me, I know that I don't want to have to make a decision every morning of what I'm going to wear. What can I wear? What's my style? What do I want? How do I want to dress so that I actually feel good? And so that I show up professional, but so that I don't have to waste my time thinking about these little small decisions. So I can save up my mental energy so I can make the big decisions in life when they do appear, which is all the time if you're an entrepreneur, or even if you're a husband or a wife or a father or mother. Eliminating some of those decisions is pretty simple. So fall's here. How do I want to dress in fall? What do I want to wear? Do I want to have like 3 pairs of boots, and I want to have like 5 button-ups and maybe a vest or 2, and I want to have 2 different color belts to match the boots so that I'm not, false flagging out there and looking all goofy. I want to dress right. I want to feel right. How do I want to dress? That's a good question to ask yourself. Here's a couple more quick ones. When am I the most productive? Don't say, oh, I'm never productive and I never get anything done and there's never enough time in the day. Terrible questions to ask yourself. How about you ask yourself, when am I at my most productive? For me, the magic time for me, the most productive time for me where I'm just a freaking rock star is when I'm sipping this coffee, when I've got my mind right. I just jump out of my devotional and prayer that I do every day and spend time. I go back and forth with my buddy Alex, who's in Arizona, and we read a Bible verse right now. We're in Psalms this morning. It was Psalm 108. We read it. We go back and forth. That brotherhood, that connection that we have is important for me as a relationship, and then also my relationship to God. So when I come out of that, man, I'm flipping tables, I'm punching people in the face, I'm elbowing people. If Britt's in there, I'm like, Britt, we got 80,000 things we're going to do today. You're never even going to be able to do any of it. And then 5 minutes later, I'm like, did we get this done? Did we get it done? And you're like, you just told me that 5 minutes ago, Brett. We're never going to get all this stuff done today. But I'm feeling so good I can take on the world. I mean, there's been days where I read that stuff and I'm feeling so good. I got my goals written down. I start buying gift cards at Starbucks for people. I'm shooting them out like trash can lids across the gym or across the coffee shop because I'm feeling so dang good. That's what happens when you ask yourself good questions. This is true. That's the best part about this video, this podcast. This is all true stuff. That's how I feel. And if I can do that, I know it can shift you, because you could wake up and feel a little lousy. You ask yourself some good questions, come up with some good answers, you'll re-energize yourself. Last one I wanted you to to ask yourself is, how do I want my blank situation to look? So that's where you fill in the 4 wheels. How do I want my financial situation? How do I want my family situation? How do I want my financial situation? And how do I want my fitness situation to look like? Right? Break down your body. I want to be 20 pounds less than I am right now. I want to be able to bench 225, or I want to be able to squat 300 pounds, or I want to be able to fit into that dress before I go to the school reunion, which my 15-year reunion is at the end of November. I don't know if I'm going to go or not. Probably not. But maybe I should. But then in any event, whatever it is, I got a vacation. How do I want my body to look? Or my finances? Hey, think about this. Here's a 60-second video, another one, okay, as we wrap this video up. How about this question? I want my money situation to be $1,000 more than it is right now. So you ask yourself, how do I want my financial situation to look like? Here's a good answer. What if, and then ask this, what if I made an extra $1,000 a month? 1,000. Okay, it's $250 a week, actually a little bit less, 4.3 weeks in a month, any given month. So if you made an extra $250 a week, what would that do? Brit's in the audience, I'm gonna ask her, if you made an extra 1,000, right? Would that solve some of the problems that you have in your head? Some of the stress that you have in your head? Would it solve some problems for you?
Yeah.
Extra $250 a week.
I think so.
Now let me ask you this, is it an impossible goal?
No.
Is it doable?
Yeah.
And then once you get that, eventually could you ask yourself then, what if I made another $1,000 a month?
Easily.
So you're not setting yourself up for, now I would say, to me, I'd say, how can I make an extra $100,000 a month? And then if I fall short of that and I only end up making 75, it's still a good problem to have. But you got to ask yourself those questions when you have time, when you're feeling good. Don't do this when you're rushed, when you're trying to fly out the door, or when you're driving to work and you should be focused on work, or when you're at work and you should be focused on work, which hopefully you're not listening to this at work. But if you are, hey, it's a good show. Do this on a Saturday morning, Sunday morning. You know, do it when you're feeling, whenever that time of the day is where you feel like you're in flow, you're in a great state and you're feeling good, your energy's good, and you're not getting, your kids aren't pulling at your sleeve and your wife's not going, why are you working so much? Okay, hopefully she's not asking you that, and your husband's not asking you why you're working so much, or whatever the case may be. Do it when you're feeling good. Do it when your energy feels good. And I know that these things are going to help you guys take control of your life. Maybe not once and for all, because this is a lifelong game, but those 3 things over and over. Accept 100% responsibility, be self-disciplined, and ask yourself great questions so you can come up with great answers. It's really going to help you guys out. If you know of anybody out there, friend, family member, social media follower, who may or may not be struggling with some area in their life, maybe it's one of the 4 wheels, do me a favor. I'll do this for free. It's always going to be for free. It is what it is. I'm just trying to help you guys out and help you guys get to know me. But if you know someone, share this video with them, share this podcast with them so that they can hear it, so that they can try and shift their life in a new direction. And even if I never meet that person or the 20 or 100 people who end up hearing this video, and this video impacts them in a big way, it's 100% worth it. And I couldn't thank you guys enough for sharing it with them, sharing the message, and for your time and your attention, which I truly value, because there's a lot of things going on right now. A lot of people putting out videos and posts and this, that, and the other, and you guys chose to listen to this. So whoever it is, I know we got some really consistent listeners and people reaching out to me, Blair and Tomter, and I've had so many people, Iverson, you guys that have reached out and you say, hey, I'm listening to everything. It's really cool to know that I'm helping you guys out, and let's see if we can help somebody else. Like, subscribe, maybe drop a comment, rate us on iTunes, whatever you guys can do. But thank you guys for tuning in to Coffee with the Coach. Have an awesome rest of the weekend. We'll catch you later.